Extroverts, we need to chill out. And I say that as a fellow extrovert. I'm allowed to say that on our behalf. Because honestly, I think we need to show our introvert friends a little more respect. Hi guys, welcome back to Chunks and Chats. Today we're going to be talking about the way introverts and extroverts react and when friendship gets difficult. So here we go. I'll start off with something simple, something lighthearted. I finished the tunnel from the other day. I got the lanterns and the crystals. We're killing it. I think this is good. I think it turned out really well. I wouldn't change a thing. I love it. And we'll come down this way. I can show you my whole town. Alright. So I want to start by apologizing on behalf of all extroverts. But also let me clarify that I don't feel guilty. I don't feel ashamed for my personality type. I'm happy with who I am. I want to clear that up. But I also want to say sorry for the way that we treat you. Because we always tell introverts that they need, to get out more, to smile more, go shake a few hands, go strike up a conversation, but there's not a good balance. Nobody tells introverts to be quiet every once in a while. Everyone praises did I say no one tells introverts? No one tells extroverts, excuse me, to be quiet every once in a while. Everyone praises the extrovert personality, and introverts are just seen as cold or, antisocial. But it's not true. Extroverts, we tend to talk a little bit more than we should, and I'll get into that too. Welcome to Red Pine Hollow, by the way. This is the name of my town. Yeah, extroverts, we talk a little too much sometimes. I mean, there's a balance. I love talking and I love chatting with people, hence why I started this YouTube channel. But let me tell you, a wise man speaks because he has something to say, and a fool speaks because he has to say something. So think about that. Do you have something to say? Or do you just want to say something? That'll be your food for thought for today. Sometimes I'm a little bit of both. Sometimes I'm one or the other. It just depends. I also want to clarify that I can't really claim credit for most of this town. Terralith does a really good job at custom biomes and trees and towns and stuff, but I cleaned it up a little bit. I did the pathways. I made this bridge. I am currently working on breeding some villagers now that I have the whole place lit up and they won't be dying anymore. So eventually I can do some trades and get some books and stuff like that, Anyway, let's show our introvert friends a little more respect. Because they're definitely seen as lower than us, and that's not true. We're all equal. We're all human. We have our flaws and our goods about us, And it can work, like extroverts and introverts can be friends with each other. It's easy as long as you know how to read each other. And to tell you the truth, being understood is so underrated. I mean, that's one of the things I want more than anything else in life, is to be understood. And so I try to do that for other people. Following the golden rule, do to others as you would have them do to you. And hopefully that comes back to me, you know? I mean, karma is kind of a thing. Not in the not in the sense that the universe is talking to you or anything. I believe God is fully in control of all the chances, and karma is just his tool. So I believe in karma, but not in the same sense that most people do, not in the worldly sense, I guess. But I do really want to understand people. I want to understand where they're coming from. And so I often take the time to ask my introvert friends how they're doing. Am I okay to. Can I sit here? Can I talk to you? Can I touch you? Extroverts, you generally don't need to ask permission, at least not with me. Like, as long as we're friends, you can hug me. You don't have to ask. You can join me at my table on my lunch break and I'll talk to you. You know, like I don't just need space to recharge, you know? I get my energy from the people that I love. It rejuvenates me. It heals me. It puts me in a better place and it makes me a better person. It makes me happier. But not everyone works that way. Some people have to be away from people to recharge and to feel better. And that's not a bad thing. It's just we all operate differently. Also, I want to know if you recognize this pattern. I want to see you comment if you recognize that. So, it it can get hard sometimes too, especially when we're not the same personality type and we misunderstand each other. I actually had a conversation with somebody earlier today about how most falling outs, most drama, most hurt, most like damaged relationships happen due to misunderstandings. You know, maybe both sides meant well, but it was just taken the wrong way and there wasn't time given to make up for it, time to apologize, time to explain, you know. And I've definitely been in that situation. I have damaged introverted people in ways that I didn't realize because I was too much for them. You know, I was high energy and they didn't want that. And on the other hand, I've been damaged by some introverted people. I felt like they were cutting me out, but in reality, they just wanted their space. And I think it would do us a lot better to just talk to each other, to understand each other. Because even though it's healthy to have boundaries and not to just trust everyone, but something that I've been trying to relearn lately is that most people actually don't mean you harm. And that's so hard, especially for me to believe, because there are certain groups of people that disappoint me again and again and again, but just got to keep on trying, keep on loving those people, because there's always outliers. There's always... Oh. I did some fishing, so my inventory is full. There's always exceptions, you know? Say you're an extrovert and you have a bad experience with an introvert. Don't let that experience ruin your perception of introverts. Most of them are just... They're not being mean, they're just quiet. They don't want your energy. And I keep saying it, but I'm gonna say it again. Like we extroverts need to understand that. We have to do better about understanding that. And unfortunately, there are situations, not very common, But there are situations where sometimes you just have to let a friend go. And that sucks for me, especially. Um, I hold on to my friends really tightly. I try my hardest to love them as best as I can and to never let them go. And I understand drifting happens. You grow apart, you become different from each other, you change, you move on, or maybe it's just like somebody you know at work and you're kind of buddy buddy with them, but they move to a new job and you just don't talk anymore, stuff like that. It's normal. It's just something that I've always struggled to accept. I'm not usually the one to choose to end a friendship, but I had to do it for the first time not too long ago because this friend was they let me down again and again and again, and they wouldn't get better. I tried so many times to the point of even like costing myself time and money just to try and help this person get better because they recognized that they were not in a good place, but I just couldn't help them anymore. As much as I wanted to, they were hurting me, and no difference was being made. Whether they meant to hurt me or not, they did, and I couldn't serve them anymore. I wasn't strong enough, and that hurt so hard. For a long time, I knew this person for years, since high school at least, and it was really hard to cut them off because I didn't want to, and I hope they can get to a better place, but trying to help them there was only hurting me in the process, and that was the point where it was no longer worth it. So it's a thing. It's not fun to cut people off, and I hope that that never has to happen to you. Or if it does, maybe it's less painful to cut them off. Of course, if someone hurts you and they feel no remorse for it and you don't feel safe with that person, you got to cut them off, and you probably don't feel bad about it. But it's someone who is a good person and you're exhausted by trying to help them. That's where it's really hard to cut them off because you have to for your own good. But it's hard to do that. I don't want to end this video on a sad note though. I let me restate that understanding each other and talking to each other will really get us a long way, especially understanding different personality types because like I said, a lot of problems result from people just not understanding each other. And we're a defensive species. Humans are naturally inclined to protect themselves and to protect the ones that they love. And unfortunately, our first instinct is to hurt people back instead of understand why maybe they just accidentally hurt us. So take that with you today and think about the last time. I know it might hurt, but think about the last time somebody hurt you. Did they mean to do it? Or did you take it the wrong way? Does somebody owe an apology? Maybe you should talk to them. I've had people in my life that I've had to go to, and I've definitely done my fair share of hurt to people without realizing. But once they let me know, those relationships were mended. So hopefully that makes sense and you take that with you. I appreciate you coming to visit me in my town. And I hope to continue growing the country of Alderwyn with you guys. I think it'll be fun. So thanks for being here, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.